today with a new introduction topic that is called about SpringBoot Actuator. So we will be starting out this topic and we will be learning about more about what a Spring Actuators is. Although you will Google it out, you will get a lot of examples. So that's what my viewpoint is that key. First of all, before starting out this tutorial, let me introduce it out. Ki, I am Sunil Saxena this side and I am keep posting out some videos so you can reach out to me on my LinkedIn profile and I am, as I always says in my videos, that I am writing a lot of articles on different topics so that may help you out and you can reach out to me. I may be coming out with one of the videos on deploying the applications on OpenShift on a cloud server also. So just to get on the topic back, so Spring Accurator is what all about it. So Spring Accurator is all about when you wanted to monitor your applications. When you wanted to enable some sort of tracing, some extra level of monetization, some level of logging that you wanted to study that how the things are behaving at a very back end. So this is one of the separate module which is already being built by the Spring guys, and you have to just enable this module and that will help you out to study the external things that is being happening at a back end. So in Google you will get a lot of tutorials about it as I am browsing through the different tutorials about the Spring Boot, but here we will see a live application. So what is happening is all about this is one of the application that is being built by me. So this is just a normal application key. We have a book controller and main application class and we have a property. So before starting out this, I have just open our the this particular jar so that you can get an understanding that when we have a lot of Maven inbuilt dependencies. So we have one jar called Spring Boot Auto Configure jar, and you may see that this is being reflecting that it is coming from C drive user M2 repository of mine, and in which if you expand the meta nf folder you will get a lot of Spring factories. So by this way I just wanted to show you out how the internal workings of Spring Boot is being happening it out. So let's say if I search JPA inside it, so I will get the properties with which should be enabled for the JPA repository, but provided the conditions should be satisfied. So I will be coming up in my later tutorials at how the internal working of the Spring Boot is being happening. But for the time being, we can revisit on Navigator and we can see that I have enabled this security I have enabled this particular security, and apart from this I have exposed the web exposure, although this is not recommended in production because it always says ki the cost always comes with the fact that if you are enabling this thing in production then your application may go down. But here since we had wanted to study and we wanted to trace, so we have enabled this particular thing. So and apart from this, let me introduce you to my pom.xml file in which I have introduced one browser that is called Hell browser. So we'll study how the particular Hell browser help us in when we are studying about the Aquatators in detail. So let me first bring out my application. Just a minute, let me bring out my application. So this is just a Maven application. Let me go to my main class. So normal Spring Boot application this is. Let me bring out this application first. So we may study that logs may be coming for this application, and if the logs are coming, let me see it is getting enabled. And again, see, since I have enabled the debug mode, although it's not recommended to enable this thing in the production, but just for the study purpose I have enabled it to show you how the auto configure properties report is being getting listed here. So let me go down below. Yeah, so it is just coming just a bit. I have to bring it up. So here you can see the condition evaluation report, and it is saying that which properties have been auto configured by the configuration parameters. Like for the JPA dependency configuration, it is showing that it did not match with those properties. Okay, so I will be coming up with those property. So now our application is up and running right now, and let's suppose This is my application, and within this my application, let me bring my browser up right now. Just can you give me a minute? Just a minute. So yeah, now I'm resuming. This is just a browser. So this is a browser which I'm using since my I told you that my application is being up and running. So what I have done is that I have bring out my browser. So let me first of all fit this browser in a window, okay, and then I will show you all the things that is being necessary. Just give me a minute, okay. So this browser is there, yeah. So now it is visible to you. So now you can see that since my application is up and running right now in the backend, so when I type http localhost 8080 equator, so it gives me certain endpoints. So these endpoints are, you can see, schedule task, matrices, http trace, okay. So if I go to the individual, like if I go to the individual metrics, so it will give me you that about the matrices, like how many memory has been used, has been allocated as per the JVM point of view, how many servlet requests has been hit, how much processor CPU usage is being happening it out. So apart from this, I am going into the environment equitators also, that gives me all the details about the environment, all the JDK, which version JRE is being used. Then I travel to the beans version also, that is telling me the scope of beans, which I was explaining you earlier. So now the point come is about a help browser for which I have typed this, okay. So let me introduce out to this concept of help browser first. So this is a browser, and as I show you in my pom.xml, just me let me visit through my pom.xml. So this is my pom.xml, in which I have shown you that I have imported one of the dependency of the help browser. So this is the help browser which I have imported out. So in this also you can study the matrices, okay. So I will be going to show you how you can study those matrices. So yeah, we have studied about the help browser. So what is happening is now, okay, this is an help browser, and you can type your equator endpoint here itself. For example, let's suppose if I type first equator in the explorer and then I hit a go, so the request is being hit, and as you can see in this browser, all the events that is related to equators are there, okay. So you can go and study the important endpoints with context to the environment properties. So what I have done is that key I have been using since in the equators, let's suppose if I go to matrices, let's suppose if I go to the matrices, so these are the different properties. Let's suppose if I wanted to see how much JVM memory is being used, so that I can enter into the custom request here itself. What I can do is that I can put here this endpoint and I can let it go, okay. So this shows me how much JVM memory has been used. So this is the JSON message that is being coming up. So this is the same thing that I have shown in the next browser tab for you also. Apart from this, I have shown you about the GC pause, because this was also one of the properties. So in that way also you can use the help browser that is coming for Spring Data REST. So this is in just very short about the equitators. Nothing has to be done. A lot of enable has for HTTP trace and all those monitoring has to be done, which is I won't recommend you to do in the production, because once you do all these things in the production, then it bring hit the performance too. So for this Spring Boot Actuators, you can see a lot of tutorials that has been coming on the internet, okay, for you guys. So you have to go and study these links. A lot of things that has been coming. For example, one of my favorite links that has been coming is about from the tutorial points itself, in which they used to say about the Spring Boot Actuator, that it's a sub project of this, is one of the greatest and most useful feature of the boot framework itself. So you can go and study for this endpoints, which I have shown you right now in being supported, coming up with the versions, and keep posting your queries on LinkedIn, and I will be answering. And please keep subscribing my channel. Thank you guys.